Good morning, everybody. Running a little late here. Trying to get up here at the crack ass of dawn. Good morning. So, today we are going to deal with eyebrows. And where did you find it?
In the kitchen.
Oh my gosh. See, I'm losing my mind. So, I think I've told you guys this before, but I have a black hole. And things that disappear forever. Doesn't happen anywhere else, but things can actually disappear forever in my house. I just had something that I thought was going to disappear forever, but my husband found it. But things actually will disappear forever here. So probably, actually, I'm going to get my little table here and bring it closer to me. I think what I will do is get myself somewhat together, and then we'll do eyebrows. Because you guys have probably heard the old way of doing it, and I'm just half getting dressed here. So that's why the camera's off, because I'm still putting my boots on and a bra on, which I don't think you want to see me do that. But I'm sure you guys have all seen the thing where like you put your you do your eyebrows based on your nose, and you kind of like, why is this thing not? I got my boots on the wrong feet. Gosh darn it. You kind of line them up by your nose. You kind of like go like the side of your nose and then like this, and that's how you line up where all your creases are of like where the arches and all that stuff. You can do it that way, but doesn't always work. So I'm gonna get let me get the chat open in regular. Oh, here we go. In regular YouTube, so I can actually see when things happen. Because in StreamYard, all your little whatever sticker thingies, hearts, whatever. I can't think of the word. Smiley faces, whatever those damn things are called that we've used words for like 20 years that I can't think of the word for it now. Let me pop that chat out. I can't see those in StreamYard. In StreamYard, they're just these weird little like, it has like the letters and numbers that go towards it. So you guys, I started looking into that Courtney Clinny case yesterday. Oh my God. What is that girl's deal? You don't do your own to get them done? See, I have a native untrust of people touching things on my body because twice I've had someone destroy my hair, like chop it all off. So I have this massive distrust of people. Like when I say cut my hair only to this length and they chop it all off, I have a massive distrust of people. So I don't know. I don't know if I would get my eyebrows done. I'd be scared. I think I'd be scared. All right, I'm gonna get my boots on here. I'm almost done. Got my bra on because I know you guys don't want to see me without my bra on. I just get scared they're gonna like overdo something and then like bigger brows will come back and then they'll have destroyed it. So like my like eyebrows don't grow or something weird. I don't know. I have a mistrust. I have a mistrust of people. Okay. It's me. It's not them. Trust me, Italian girl. It's not them. It's me. Good morning. I put my face cream on, so now my face is all white. Isn't that weird? Like, I look kind of like an alien. Speaking of which, I went down the rabbit hole last night, which is why I made that Khloe Kardashian thing. I was going, I don't know where. I saw Madonna. I saw Madonna. Have you guys seen Madonna lately? If you haven't, please do not. It will frighten you. She looks frightening. She looks absolutely frightening. Now, I have no problem with plastic surgery, obviously. I mean, even though everyone thinks I've had all these things done, I had my boob done and that's it. Well, boobs, I should say boobs. There's more than one, right? I had my boobs done and I had Botox right here because I started getting those two. I got those two like, but see, I can't do it now. I was getting those two lines like right here in the middle. Now I can't do it. And they did like something right here for the lines right here. And then like two things right here to pull that up. And that's it. But so I'm, do what you want, whatever floats your boat, right? But I think it's weird when people, good morning, September. I think it's weird when people do things to themselves so they do not look like themselves at all anymore. Like not at all like themselves. Here, hold on. I want to change my shirt. I don't like this shirt. I want to change my shirt. So hold on. Let me do this for a second. I don't like it when people don't look like themselves. Like what happens when like you go back to your kid. You know, you haven't seen your kid. They've been in college all year and you got something done. And now like you don't look like yourself at all. So hold on, let me get a different shirt because I don't like this one. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. Alrighty then. Here we go. All right. One last thing and I'll actually be ready. Oh my lord. I'm going to show you the thing real quick while I'm changing my shirt here. I got brought it over. Hold on one second. I'm going to show it to you because this is frightening. And then I'm going to put my shirt on. Brought it over. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. Now, I'll put my camera on. I lined it up perfectly with her nose bridge. She's like, look, she doesn't look like her. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but she doesn't look like she doesn't look like herself, like at all. Like, if you're her kids, well, her kids aren't that old, but if they like went away, like for the year and came back, they'd be like, Mom, who are you? Like if I saw her on the street, I would not think that was Kourtney Kardashian whatsoever. It's frightening. So, and Madonna's like that too. I should show you a picture of Madonna. I mean, she's like, I think they call it the alien. Okay, so I'm looking in the camera and I'm trying to put stuff on this eye, but I'm backwards. So I just keep putting more and more on this eye. I think I should look on a mirror. They call it the alien face. No, she doesn't look like if I just saw that second person, I would not think that was Kourtney Kardashian. Like if she passed me, I would not say, "Oh, there's Kourtney Kardashian walking over there." I would not recognize her whatsoever. Like not at all. And Madonna still looks like Madonna, but she's really weird. I'll show you her too. Coco, I'm getting a cat today. I'm very excited. I'm getting a cat. I don't know why I'm putting this on. I haven't even put primer on. I'm all dysfunctional today. What's wrong with me? I think I'm excited because I'm getting a cat. I shouldn't have put this on yet. I haven't even put primer on. What am I doing? I must be all befuddled because I'm getting a cat. So I'm getting a cat. I'm very excited. I haven't gotten a cat in literally, I want my desk to go in here. Oh my gosh. There we go. I haven't gotten a cat in a very, very, very long time. Probably a good 20 years because the last cats we got were my kids got cats and they're their cats. Like they picked them out, they hang out with them. Like they're their cats. I don't consider them to be my cats. Um, so like this will actually be kind of like my cat, but he's a feral cat. He's an outdoor cat. It's not like he's not a nice cat right now. He will turn into one. But so anyway, while I do this, how are you guys this morning? That's my. How are you guys this morning? I am up bright and early. I hope you guys realize I'm up super early for you guys. Usually don't start these till 9. I was gonna do it at 7 actually. That was my plan, and then it was just way too early. It was just way too early. I just couldn't do it. So then I changed it to like 7:30, which that was fine. That worked much better. But I think this will probably be better for you guys because 9 o'clock is somewhere between 9 and noon for you guys. So probably much better to do it a little bit early. So anyway, how are you guys this morning? I haven't said hello yet. I got all flustered because I'm all flustered about getting a cat. And then I got all flustered trying to change my clothes. My goodness. I am doing well, Stella. How are you? I was gonna pop onto your live yesterday, and then if I don't write things down, I'll never remember. Like I wrote down Pooh's. If I hadn't written down that Pooh was having a live, I would have never remembered to go. If I don't write things down, never happened. Never, ever, ever, ever happened. And I just realized Zero makes videos too. She made one about like crap, now I can't remember. Not In Excess. Tears for Fears. Like, I didn't even know she made videos. Like, I knew she made that video of when I went in and pulled my Jerry Springer moment. She made a video about that, but snow. Well, I'll have to say I do miss the snow a little, tiny bit. Not really. I mean, I do miss the snow, like for small, small moments. I mean, I like the snow. I mean, I would not want to live in the snow. Let's put it that way. Now I look just now I'm all red and splotchy. I look fabulous. I look fabulous today. It is a fabulous Tuesday. At least it's not a Monday. Oh my God, that was Alexa. Did you hear that? Don't go away, Alexa. Leave me alone. Go away. I don't know why Alexa's popping up, but nobody said it. I don't know why she's coming here, but I forget what I was going to say now. Anyway, the whole when I saw Madonna, I was just, have you guys seen her lately? Like, say yes or no if you guys have seen her lately. Because if you haven't, I mean, she's 65 and she doesn't have a wrinkle on her, but she looks like an alien. She looks like a cross between an alien and a praying mantis. It's frightening. And I guess that's the thing. They're talking about how like that's the thing. Like they call them the alien heads. Like that's what people because they all do this. This is what they do. They do to do this, they pull this up. So then people get this thing up here. And then the eyes get smaller. And then the eyes tilt. So you get this like alien look, like that. See how like that? Like imagine if I was like that, but then my cheeks were like really out. And then they put the chin implant. So then, you get that angular face like that. And then that's my cat sneezing. And then you get like the eyes like that. And then the cheeks really out. Yours should be tonight. Oh, I miss Tahoe a little bit, but they say it's the alien. It's the alien look. And it's kind of, what everyone's getting because everyone wants to do the same thing, which is, they don't want to have wrinkles. It used to be everyone just got a facelift and then everyone just got like that look, like a look. And now it's, everyone's doing it with fillers and now they're getting the alien look. So I think these people have so many people around them saying, like, you look good, that they think that looks good. And I think they only look at themselves like right here. So they see like their eyes and like, no wrinkles, and they think that looks good and they don't see the full effect. And again, you can make yourself look however you want. And if you like it, that's great. But I don't know. I just think, and it's not my place to say, but when you make yourself not look like you, like I used to say when I was younger, I would never do anything to my face. And then I was like, well, maybe I'd get a filler or a spot of Botox, but because then I got older. But I mean, to getting to the point where you like get the nose job and the eyes done where you don't look like you, I don't know. I think that and people don't do it on purpose. Like none of them are doing it on purpose. It's just happening because they're just doing too much. And I feel bad because you don't look like you. Like someone needs to say stop before you don't look like you. Because when you don't look like you, that's just weird to me. And I think like at a certain point, like I just wonder at a certain point, do they look at themselves and say like, holy crap, I've done something I can't come back from. Like you can't come back. You can't come back from that. Like you can't come back from that. Like you're never going to look like you again. Like that's got to be just weird. But anyway, I kind of miss the snow. I kind of do. Your niece is amazing. Oh, you hate it? I like the snow, but not if I lived in it. I don't think I'd like if I lived in it again. Because the whole like plowing it and then you gotta wear like certain clothes to be in it. And I don't think I'd want to do that. That's like kind of a lot of work. But it was nice to go to Tahoe for 4 or 5 days. when I lived in Pennsylvania, I kind of was on the verge of hating it, to be honest with you, because I lived there. And you can't wear cute clothes, you can't wear cute shoes, and it's really cold, and you can't walk, there's a lot of negatives to it. But when you just go there for a few days, see, that's the beauty of California. You can. So if I'm doing a tutorial, I put on primer and now I'm putting on foundation and I'm doing it with the brush. That's the beauty of California. Like, I'm in Northern California, so I could go that way a few hours and get to the ocean, or I could go that way for a few hours and I'm at the snow. So it's like, do I want the sunny beach or do I want the cold snow? I don't know, but a couple hours either way and I'm there. And then I could go like a few hours and be in Oregon, or I could go like 15 hours and be in Mexico. Like, California is seriously like 15 hours long. It's like 3 states on its own. Yeah, but that's the good, like, when you have kids, you want your kids to see the snow. Like, it's nice to see the snow. Like, I don't think I'd want to live in snow, but it's nice to see the snow. That's what I like. So, and it's nice being here because we can just go see the snow whenever we want to. And it's kind of cool like that. It's kind of cool like that. It's cool like that. Ah, today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. What exciting things is everyone doing this week? Huh? 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 Anything exciting? My kids are getting ready for school. Need my little, there it is. I'm going to put on my concealer the right way. Oh, I like seasons too. That's the only thing about California that if I had to say there was one thing I didn't like, is that we have no seasons. We have no seasons. I mean, we have like summer and like spring, or summer and fall, like whatever you want to call it. It's like we have two. It's either like really nice or it's like that spring fall, like still nice, but like just not really hot. So, but the one thing that I don't like is I don't think I could do humidity. I can't do humidity. So wherever I am has to be dry. Like, I would much rather be in Arizona where it's 120 degrees than be in Pennsylvania where it's like 90, because they have humidity. And humidity for me, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. It gives me a migraine. I get all like sweaty. Ugh, it's horrible. Ugh. So I was actually watching a tutorial, which is where I saw the thing about the eyebrows, and then I was like, that's a really cool thing, because the way you learn it when you're younger is you say like, well, here's the outside of my eye, and you go. See, when I look in the camera, I always want to go the opposite way. Like, I always go the wrong way of what I want. But you do this thing where you're like, okay, that's where the inner is, and like that's where the outer, you do that thing. And they had a whole different way, because they said, what if your nose is wide? Or what if your nose is thin? Then that would be totally off, right? So that's not how you do it. And I thought it was interesting. And then the chick was talking about like, if you're older, things to do and not to do. And it said, you remember baking? People would do that baking thing. Like, the Kardashians were famous for that baking, where you put all the powder on and then wipe it off. And she was saying, like, you don't want to do too much concealer, because when you and you'll see your wrinkles. It'll like cake. So she said, like, just do a little bit and dab it on. I don't know, interesting kind of thing. Because I hate to say it, but other than some youngins like Hakuna Matata, some of you, most of us are older, which is a very weird thing, I have to say. I do have to say. What was I watching? I was looking at something, and it was like an ad or something, and it had it was like a granddaughter and a grandma, and the grandma was like, 90, so she was like little and hunched over, and in her, like, how like Italian women, they have the like house dress, that smock house dress. She was in the smock house dress, and she was like, the short gray curled perm thing they get and set once a week, and the typical, grandma. And I was just like thinking to myself, like, I really have a problem with someday thinking that I'm going to be like the grandma. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm really having a problem with this aging thing. Like, it's just a weird concept to me. Like, I know I look different than I did when I was younger, but I mean, not that much. I'm still like not that much. Like, not terribly. Like, not like short gray hair hunched over in a house dress kind of thing. Like, So it's just weird to me to think about, like, I don't know, like all gray hair and like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird concept to me. I was talking to Justin. He's like, he has a problem too. He's like, I don't know, this aging thing. It's weird. Like, and then you look at stars like, like Axl Rose and people like that, like people who were like, hot celebrities or something like that. And then they're suddenly like very different. Oh, it's a weird concept, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Probably no one feels that way with me, but I don't know. Kind of like talking about. All right. So there's my concealer. Yay. But she was doing this. It's funny. She was doing this this tutorial on what you were supposed to do for like more mature skin. And a lot of them, like a lot of them I did wrong. But I was like, I don't know. Part of doing makeup is do it how you want it. You're always gonna have someone who says, oh, this is the right way, this is the right way, this is the wrong way, don't do it that way. But at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you feel good. And if what makes you feel good other people don't like, well, whatever. Like that's your style. Like, I don't know, if you want to have like jet black hair and people think it doesn't look good on you, well, that's you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the thing with like these celebrities and their alien faces. Like they like the alien face. So I guess that's okay. I mean, if they like that, I don't know. If I did something and suddenly I looked nothing like me, like nothing like me. Like if you like if you saw me on a live, you would be like, who's that? Like you wouldn't even like you wouldn't even know it was me. I think, I don't know. I think as that person, like if I did something and I came out of it and woke up and I was like, who is that? And and I walked past people and they're like, didn't even know who I was. And I'm like, hey, it's me. And they're like, oh, didn't recognize you at all. I think I would feel like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have done that. Hey, buddy, are you ready for your day? Nobody's talking to me. All right. Where is, I need a paper towel of some sort. All right, I'm gonna go get a paper towel real quick. And then we're gonna move on to eyebrows. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. So we're gonna move on to that next. So let me get a paper towel and then we'll move on to that. The creme de la creme. Hello, Daisy cutie. Hey, cutie. Oh, you like that. So we'll go over. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now I'm back. Now I'm back. Now I'm back. Okay. Let me get a couple things ready here. Now we'll move on to it. You want to head down south? Yeah, I don't think I could deal with that cold. I mean like the cold. I mean it does, like that's the thing about Northern California. It does get cold here. I mean it gets down to like 20 degrees here. I mean we get snow here. I'm top of the mountain. I get snow here. Um but like it doesn't get that cold all the time for that long. Hold on one more second. Okay, bye. Are you getting ready to go? You getting ready to go, buddy? Gosh, nobody says hi here. What's everybody doing? Jeez Louise. Ugh. All right. Well, just gonna go. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do. Oh my gosh. It's been really warm the last like day. Always makes my nose feel like it's been around a lot, and it's all warm like that. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, and then I have this video that I watched, which is a really good video. And again, so here's kind of the old adage of what we used to always do, like this kind of thing, where you'd have, I can't get the backwards thing, where like you have like the outer part of the nose and you go up, and that's like the inside, and then you go, I can't figure out which way you go, like the outside, and then that's like, God, I can't go the right way. I'll just look at this. Then you go that way, and that's the outside, and then you go through here, and that's the arch. And that's kind of like the old way we used to do it. But this video was saying, and I'm just going to look at it for how they did it for different face types, was like you can't do it that way, because if you do it that way, then what happens if your nose is not, if you have a bigger nose or a smaller nose or whatever like that. So let me find that real quick. And then, so Does everybody know their face shape? Maybe I'll pull it up and we can look at it for face shapes. Are you going, buddy? I love you. All right, let me find it here. Gosh, all these Brian Koberger videos. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with that case. I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. And I really think that he's going to come out and he's going to say he's been framed. And he's going to say he didn't do it. And he might say he knows who did it. I don't know. But he's going to say that he didn't do it. And if, the problem that he has is that he just has a public defender. Where is this video? Oh, here it is. He just has a public defender. Because like a good, lawyer, a really good lawyer, is going to say, so you have a car. Do you know that that's his car? How do you know that's the same car that you saw in the other picture? In the other, camera or whatever. How do you know? How do you know that's him? Without a doubt. How do you know that another car didn't come through and he didn't go this way? Or how do you know he wasn't in the car with someone? Or how do you know someone else wasn't driving the car and they stopped at a house and he got in and switched out? So he wasn't the one driving that part, and the whole thing with the cell tower, like AT&T has AT&T, which AT&T is good for criminals because like Verizon will actually tell you which cell tower you ping at. AT&T just kind of gives you they said a 20-mile general. So when they say he pinged at that, but there was also 20 miles that he could have pinged other places. So I don't know. I'm really interested in it because I think a good defense attorney could get him off, quite honestly. Okay, so does everyone know their face shape? Yes or no? Please. So apparently, there's oval, round, square, heart, and pear. I think heart. And oval is, I have an oval face. Oval is considered the perfect symmetrical face. But oval is the most symmetrical. So that's kind of the easy one to do. Everything's symmetrical. So let's see. Maybe I'll put this on to see how she did it because she had a really good explanation of it. It's the best thing I've ever heard from anybody. So here's the face shapes. All right. So here's face shapes. Let's do that. Share screen. Okay. Upper tab. Oh, that's me. I want that one. Oh my gosh. I had slept really weird last night. Just could not fall asleep right. All right, where are you? Okay, here we go. There it is. All right. So here's that. Okay, so there's the different face shapes. And there's oval, long, square, round, pear. There is pear, diamond, and heart. So you be quiet. So hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose. So I'm just gonna just for a second. So does everyone know what face shape they are? Because that's important. And maybe I will play her. Maybe I'll play her through first, as she says, kind of how she does it, because she does a great explanation. And then I'll do it because I do liner a little bit, and then I do the powder in it. And I'll tell you some things that are, that I do a little bit differently because I kind of use my eye. Here, I was gonna blow my nose, but I haven't. So I kind of use my eye. I use my eyeball, and I pretty much use the inner to be here, and then I use right outside of my pupil to be there, and then I kind of just, however much I want to angle my eye, I go here. So if you don't want if you want a cat eye, you be more dramatic. If you don't, you do that, and then your angle, I think, is up to you. Some people like an angle, some people like straight. So I would just kind of, for me, just do that and then do what I want. But she gives a good explanation of if you have a long face, you want to shorten your face. So you would make your angle shorter. She does a good explanation. So let's hear her first. And then I will give my 2 cents. So here we go. All right. She's
face shape. And that's actually the most important part, in my opinion.
Oh,
And
wait,
then
I know
we'll
what I
talk
have to
about
do.
finding.
I know what I usually don't do. I have to hit use system sound. That's what I don't do. So hold on one second. You do it again. Share system sound. That's what I always do wrong. See, yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. Here we go. Share system sound.
Your own aesthetics and about grooming. I'm using the 7 face shapes that I've already explained in a previous video. If you've missed that one, it is linked in the top right corner of your screen, as well as down below in the video description. For this video though, I will assume that you already know what your face shape is, so I'm jumping right into it. First, the ideal eyebrow shape. Supposedly, you get the perfect harmony visually in terms of proportions if you use the golden ratio. The Egyptian pyramids, for instance, are built pretty much along this magic number. The Parthenon in Greece as well. The human face also follows this ratio, more or less. And the eyebrows. Concretely, it means that you're building the shape of your eyebrows based on 3 lines. The first one is vertical from your nostril up. So this is the line where your eyebrow should start. The second line goes from the tip of the nose to the iris of the eye. The arch of your eyebrow should be the highest where it crosses this line. You'll see in a minute. And on the other side of this line, the eyebrow starts to go downwards again. The third line goes from the corner of.
I would say I don't use, like, she's using her nose. Like, what if you have a really skinny nose? Then you're gonna, like, you know. And the other thing is they say that the perfect size is the length of your eyeball should be exactly the same as the length between your eyeballs. So if you're wide set, you want to bring your eyebrows in more to make things look closer. Or if you're close set eyes, you want to, so you want to space it that way. So I think it makes more sense to use your eye to make where your eyebrow, the inside of your eyebrow is, or maybe make it where it is to make your eyes inset or less, whatever you want. But Mr. Pork's going to do his eyebrows. Sorry about your Steelers. They're not in the playoffs. But okay, here you go. What's some
of
more?
your nose to the outer
Try
corner of the eye. So when it reaches that line, the eyebrow, technically, should end. So in theory, if you really follow these 3 guidelines, you get the perfect, most aesthetically pleasing eyebrow possible. On me, the perfect eyebrow looks something like this. A bit of Photoshop. Voila. See how we're using the 3 lines as our guides. Notice that if you follow the golden ratio, the highest point of your eyebrow is not in its middle. It's clearly further away from the nose. There is a makeup company in the US. They developed a toolkit for makeup artists to be able to draw eyebrows exactly based on this golden ratio. They even got it patented, the tool. Very smart. However, so far, we haven't taken into account the actual shape of the face of the person. The only thing we considered was the size of the eye, because we needed the angle to be right for the 3rd guideline, but that was it. So let's adapt this rule according to your face shape. When you see a celebrity with eyebrows that are not following the rule, the golden ratio, it's no coincidence. The makeup artist has consciously changed the proportions in order to flatter the face of that person, and each face is different. I will keep the so-called perfect proportions that I mentioned earlier as a benchmark here in red, and I will show you how to deviate from that benchmark based on the effects and the proportions that you want to achieve. On an oval face, you can go with the golden ratio because technically your face already has harmonious proportions, thin or thick, whichever you prefer. Here you can choose. I would make the brow end where our 3rd guideline says it should, and I would probably keep its natural color. A long face is an elongated oval face. I would shorten the oval by drawing an eyebrow which is less arched, almost flat. I'd make it thick to make that horizontal line more visible, and I would pull the eyebrows towards the ears to make that horizontal line seem longer. See how the face overall looks shorter now. I have an oval / long shape, and this is exactly what I do on my own brows. If you ever thought, it seems like her face is getting fuller, a bit wider than what it was 2 years ago, my face shape actually hasn't changed much. The way I do my brows has. Now I draw them a bit longer on the sides, and it's really changing the overall impression, isn't it? If you have a round face, I would try to elongate it by drawing brows that are very arched, narrower, shorter than the perfect proportions, starting at the same place next to the nose, but shortening the other end. It creates an angle, which is contrasting nicely with the circle of your face. On a square face, we want to balance out a strong jawline by attracting the attention towards the upper part of the face. I would make the brows wider, so it's the opposite of a round face actually, and I would make them thick. You can choose between a rounded arched or even an angle if you like that. I think I wouldn't go with the flat brow shape though. Square faces, I think, can really get away with super thick brows, which are totally on trend at the moment. Think Cara Delevingne. She has an angular jawline as well. She's a good reference for you if you're looking for an example and you have a square face. If your face is heart-shaped, your forehead is your widest point. I would make the brow curved upwards and then downwards, if that makes sense, with the highest point quite far away from the nose. If your face is pear-shaped, it's the opposite of the heart. Your widest point is the jawline. So I would make thick brows like on a square face, but this time I want their overall shape to go up. This brings balance. On a diamond face, the widest point in your face is exactly at the level of your eyes. So rather than adding brow volume like on a square face, I would keep the eyebrows thin throughout. Or option 2, I would make them become thinner on the outside, like I drew here, away from the nose. All these suggestions for each face shape are strictly mine. You're completely free to disagree and to choose to go with a completely different option and shape, which brings me to my next point: finding your own aesthetic.
Okay, that's all we have to listen to her for. But I thought she brought up some good points, just kind of about like the whole, like, if your face is long, you want it to be shorter. And if your face is short, you want it to be long, blah, 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 all that stuff. I know, poor Steelers. Actually, I gotta be honest, I don't really watch football. I don't really, like, when I lived in Pittsburgh, I did, but I was more a hockey fan anyway. So I don't really pay attention anymore. But so I thought she made some good points about how to do your brows. Hello, Linny. How are you? I just got like a headache right there. It just got in my head right there. Ah, 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 ah. Linny, are you still being a troublemaker? Because I hear you're just a troublemaker. I'm just kidding. What did I just do with? One sec. I hear you and who else was it? I heard it was you and someone else. You guys were troublemakers. I can't remember who else. Hold on. Take my mask. I got a headache. Oh, I love smoothies. My one son was like, he's like, why do you like smoothies? I'm like, because I do. It's like, that's so weird. Get to be like, he's gonna be 13 in May, so that's what? 4 months. Holy shit, 4 months. I know what I was doing at 13. He's not there yet. He hasn't even had his first girlfriend yet. Not really there yet. By his age, at his age, I think I was asking my mom to be on the pill because I was like, I'm gonna have sex, so you might want to put me on the pill. Dear Lord. But the act of having the appointment was so disgusting that I was like, all right, I don't need anybody else in my business. That was good enough that I like waited, like I didn't like go have sex. I waited a little while because I was like, that was enough. I don't need anybody else in there. I'm good. All good. No more. Exit only now. So that was enough for me. But so I always start with pencil to kind of like make my general marks. And if you get older, you lose your hair. Like one time my mother-in-law was over and she had taken all her stuff off. She was getting ready for bed and she had nothing on. And she doesn't really have any hair anymore. She has like no eyebrows and like no eyelashes. And it was like, wow. She like, it's like those like when they do like the robot faces where they have like no, hair. It's just like the eyes and everything else is like no eyebrow, like nothing. Like it was like, wow. And she had cream on, so it was really shiny. But so as you get older, you might need to like make in some, which is why people do microblading. I actually told her, I was like, you should do microblading. But that's why people do microblading if you lose hair. So But then this is good if you need to like draw in to be like more on the inside or more on the outside or whatever. Like you can kind of, and then for me, when I use like the powder, it just kind of gives me a good, I kind of know where I'm going. It's like my lines, like color inside the lines. Like you color inside your lines. It helps me color inside the lines. When I was a kid, I was an only child. And back when I was a kid, there really wasn't like preschool so much. And my mom was a single mom, and she kind of, she was trying to work and she needed me to go somewhere and she couldn't pay for daycare. So like the school, it was a Catholic school. Um, they said I could go for kindergarten and I would need to go another year. Like this year just wouldn't count. And this was before pre-K. There was no such thing as pre-K. And the rule was if you weren't whatever the age was, I think it's 6 for first grade. Is it 6 for first grade? If you weren't that in that year, the whole year, like you didn't go. Like now I think it's September, like it's September 9th or something like that. And if you miss it, you're pre-K, but they didn't have that back. There was no pre-K. So anyway, I was 4 when I started kindergarten, and it was meant to be like basically daycare for me. Like it wasn't meant to be kindergarten for me. Um, well, usually I don't sit here for like hours, but if I really narrow down the time for me to do my makeup, I can do all my makeup in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, easily, easily. I mean, primer, foundation, then concealer, which takes like a few minutes. Eyebrows takes like 2 minutes, and then slap on some eyeshadow and some eyeliner and some blush. Ooh, we're done. But so I went when I was 4. And so I was 4. I was a 4-year-old only child. So I had on my report card, I actually have it in a box right down here. It says, does not play well with others. And I got all these things for like not necessarily my listening, but like getting along with other people. Basically, I had a lot of trouble because I used to go around to the other kids and yell at them for they weren't coloring inside the lines, and that was wrong. That was wrong. The lines were there to color inside of them, and so they should have done that. And because they weren't, they were wrong. And so you can just picture me, right, with my little like voice, like, that's not how you're supposed to do it, So like behaviorally, she's too immature. She's like an immature 4-year-old because she's an only child. She doesn't know how to, I was like a feral cat or like a cat who's only an only cat household, put him with other cats and they fight. And by the way, my husband just left to go get our cat. And if you haven't heard me talk about it, we're getting it's not an inside cat. It's a feral. It's his name on the thing is actually I'll show you a picture. His name is Feral Barn Cat. He's a feral cat. He was dumped at birth at or he might have been born there at one of the feral cat colonies, and he's lived there his whole life. And he's 2.5, and he's always had his balls. So he has jowls, big jowls, and he's not necessarily nice because cats, when they have their balls for that long and they're feral male outside cats, they're not necessarily nice. So they trapped him and neutered him, and he was there, and we want 2 outside cats because we live in the hills and we need our garage. There's some poop. There's poop. And we've always had outside cats except for the last few years. And now that we don't, there's probably some mice and probably some rats in there, and that's disgusting. So we're gonna get there's another one there that it's a she, and she's not exactly ready to she was still in quarantine. So she wasn't ready to go yet, but hopefully we can get her too in the next like week or so. Where did I put that? Oh, I think it was in here. Why can't I find it? Where is it? But he'll have to be in the garage he's not like, no other animal can be in this house until Rasputin goes, who in April will be 24, by the way, 24. But if any other animal came in this house, he would get so depressed, and he's like waited his whole life to be the dominant cat, so he would just freak out like another male cat, a feral male cat. Oh my god. So he will be in the garage probably for a few weeks to a month, just getting him acclimated. Oh, here, is he here? Acclimated to the property and the smells, so he doesn't try to go back to the shelter or anything like that. And then we'll let him loose, and he'll have the garage where he can go in for his shelter and food and water and blah blah. And hopefully he will eventually become a nice calm cat, and he can be inside outside, and eventually he'll probably be inside when he gets too old. Where in the heck is the darn picture? Here he is. Oh, here he is. Yay. Okay, I'll show you. And my husband just went to get him. Okay, put that over there. Oh, I'm so excited. I have not gotten a cat in like 20 years, 25 years, to be quite honest with you. I've not gotten an animal in 25 years. So I'm pretty excited. And I just like, when you see him, you will see that he is miserable. He is miserable. He is not happy at all. He is not happy. He is drooling because he was pissed off and salivating. Look at his ears are down. He is mad. He is like, I don't know what you people did, but take me back to my home. I hate you all. I hate you all. Give me back my balls and let me outside now. So he's pretty pissed. But he's going to be awesome. And he's going to learn to love and get pet and have a home. And he'll still be able to be outside and do what he wants. And, you know, he can make his own decisions. But I like, my husband did not meet him. My husband called on the phone and said, do you have any, you know, barn cats? We need a killer. And they said, yep, we do. We got a feral barn cat. And so we haven't met him. We haven't seen him. Don't know if he's going to like beat the shit out of us and bite us and claw our eyes out. Don't know anything about him. Don't know if he can use a litter box, because he's going to be in the garage. He's going to have to use a litter box for a little while. But anyway, so now that I did that, I'm going to use it's just powder. And it's kind of like that. It's just like this like powder thing. And I've had this forever too. It's probably gross that I've had it for too long. But and then you just kind of go like that. And that's it. And you know, for a long time, when I was younger, I didn't do anything to my brows. I didn't line them. I didn't color, like I didn't do anything at all. You know, so they were light. I mean, well, you've seen my real brows, obviously, because I come on here with nothing on. But I mean, like for my wedding, I had a makeup artist come and she did my brows. And the first time I hated it. I was like, you just made me look like Ernie Munster. Like they were so dark and it just looked like, ugh, I couldn't stand it. And so I kind of went midway. But then after that, I was like, you know, there's something to that brow thing. But like for the longest time, I didn't do anything. Well, in the 80s, I think I hairsprayed them bushy. Like seriously. I think in the 80s, you like combed them up and then like hairsprayed them bushy a little bit. I'm not shitting you. I shit you not. There are a lot of things we did in the 80s, man. Do you know that like right now, like the 80s are the oldies. Like right now, the 80s are 40 years ago. When it was the 80s, 40 years ago would have been the 40s. So when like I was in high school in the 80s, listening to the 40s, like imagine in high school listening to the 40s. Like, no, you would never do that ever. Like that's kind of like my kids listening to the 80s, but they do all the time. And like most of the good songs are the 80s songs, remakes, or they're just the same. Like Bon Jovi's still around. Bret Michaels is still like, you know, I saw not Def Leppard, Bone, Simon Le Bone. Bone. Blah. Simon Le Bone. Good. What band am I thinking of? See, this is what happens when you are in a coma and you don't get oxygen to your brain. Your brain stops working and you forget words all the time. I do this all the time and I hate it. This is what happens. Don't ever almost die and be in a coma. This is what'll happen to you. You'll lose your words. Simon Le Bon. Oh my God, I gotta think of a song. No one knows what I'm talking about. God damn it. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, let me think of it. I'm trying to think of a song. I can't even think to sing a song right now. Like my brain can think it, but I can't hear it in my head. I'm gonna have to Google it. Hold on. This is gonna bug the crap out of me. But like seriously, all the 80s bands, we still listen to them. we would never listen to. There. Oh my God, what band am I thinking of? Please tell me, for Pete's sake. Duran Duran. Oh my God, I can't believe I butt farted on Duran Duran. That's when you know you've had brain damage. Um, but anyway, like they're always singing 80s songs, and I'm hearing 80s songs, and they're remakes of 80s songs, and they got 80s bands. And I'm like, that's basically the 40s for us. That's the equivalent. They're technically the oldies, but it's still the good songs. Like if you like, I don't know. I know 80s and a little bit of 90s, and then like what's happened after that? Has anything good happened after that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I haven't really heard anything. All right. So next, let me get some lip liner, because now half my lips are white. Where's my lip liner? Gosh darn it. Oh, I got new lip liner. Oh my gosh. Hey Georgia, how are you? I got so I've been getting the BoxyCharm stuff, and I love it. Like I have so much crap right now though. So much crap. Has anyone ever done BoxyCharm? BoxyCharm is great because it's all full size stuff. Okay. All right. So, by the way, for all of you in the Discord, I asked Unseen why she's going around trying to say she's going around with that video that she's tagged me in for some reason. I don't even know why. Tagged me in some freaking video. And I don't yet the point of the video, all she says in the video is that Purple never accused Frank of like calling, a threatening call. We all know that she did. Like, I don't understand. Anyway. If you see this video, I don't even know why she tagged me in it. She's actually got my my part of my video in there. I could strike her, but I would never do that. I don't think I would ever strike anyone. I don't know. I think striking someone is like a big pussy move. Like, really? I mean, unless you're using my stuff. Was it one where it's like there's part where Karen's echoing and you can't hear anything, and then Corn Dog is on and you can't hear any, like Karen is echoing so you can't understand what they're saying, and then Corn Dogs is on and you actually can't hear anything because it's muted, and at the end she's like, based on what I've seen, I don't think Purple ever accused Frank of something or whatever. It's called like when you think you hear something, or like something like that. Is that the video she showed? I don't know. I assume you're talking about something she showed on Purples. I don't watch anything, so I don't know what you're talking about. But if that's what you're talking about, yes, that's it. And she tags me in it, and she shows part of my video where when Frank was on my panel. Got my little nose dilator in. It's bugging me today. My little nose dilator. I should just tell people I have a nose ring. I think it would be cool if I said I have a nose ring instead of saying my son broke my nose and I have a deviated septum and I have a little like thing in here to make me breathe. But is that the video you're talking about? It's got when Frank was on my panel, it got that in it. See, I have to go over. Where is my other Windows chat there? Okay. Oh wait, no, I don't want to leave the site. I'll go over there. But anyway, yeah, she's got this video. She's tagged me in it, and I don't understand the point of it other than to say that Purple never accused Frank of calling her, which she did. So I don't understand. I don't understand that girl. I don't understand why she keeps dropping my name. I don't get it. But I told her to knock it off because that bugs me. And I feel bad for Frank. I wish he would just like stop talking to people that rile him up. I feel bad because it just gets him upset, which, like if someone had their friend, that's not my phone, had a friend drown, you don't bring them to a pool, right? Because that'll upset them. If you have had a friend who's had a miscarriage, you don't bring her to a park where there's going to be lots of kids because that's going to trigger her. Like, I just think if you have Frank on a panel, certain things are going to trigger him. You gotta be cognizant of that. Like, I don't understand. If you don't want him there, I don't understand how hard it is to not have him there. I don't know. We all know, I mean, it's not an excuse at all, but if you know your friend has a problem, if you know your friend can't run, don't take him on a hike. If you know you have someone who's schizophrenic and is not necessarily taking their meds properly and might be on other substances, then maybe realize if you trigger him, he's going to go ape shit, and just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's his fault too. Like, he needs to not do that. But I think it's both faults. Like, if you know someone can't walk, don't take him on a hike. If you can't walk, don't try and take the hike. Like, both of you are wrong. You shouldn't have taken him and you shouldn't have tried. Like, sit down, knock it off. But I wish he wouldn't go over there either, because I didn't see this and I just kind of heard about it, and I don't really know the full story, I don't think, but he had a seizure somewhere. Didn't he have a seizure on a piano because he got so like hyper or something? I mean, that's not good. I mean, that's not I've had several seizures, and it's not good for your health to have a seizure. Having a seizure does things to your body that you don't really want done. So you don't want to have you don't want to have a seizure. That's not a good thing to have. Um, and I mean, you know, at the end of the day, Frank's harmless. I mean, I don't understand. Like, yes, he says these things, but oh, wait, he has a seizure on Purple's channel and on Buddy's channel? Like, he had them on two different channels, like two strokes on two different channels? That would be holy shit. Um, what was I just gonna say? Now I forget what I was just gonna say. Oh, like people keep saying how, oh, he's violent, he's violent. He says all these things, he might do them. Well, yes, he does have something in his brain, and he's saying those things because he's thinking them. But at the same token, it's not like you're talking in the same house together or you're down the street. Like, for him to actually do any of these kooky things that he says, like, I'm going to destroy you. For him to destroy you, he has to find out where you live. He has to hop on a plane. He has to fly to you. He has to find your house. He has to take a taxi to your house or rent a car. And then he has to knock on your door, and then he can destroy you. So chances are destruction is not going to happen anytime soon. So, like, I don't know. Like, he's not going to destroy you. I mean, he's saying it, but like, the chance that you're really going to be destroyed is slim to none, I think. So, all these people are like, oh, he's so dangerous. He's so dangerous. Well, I mean, it's not actually going to come to fruition because you're way too far away. And if he is that dangerous, then, like, don't ever let him, like, all these people who let him on panels and stuff. And, like, like, all you have to do is when you see him in back chat, and you don't even have to tell the rest of the people, like, in your channel who are there. You can just say nothing and not let him up. You don't even have to say it. I mean, and I don't understand why. Everybody keeps saying, like, oh, we block him, and he keeps making it count. Just block his IP address. I mean, that's all you have to do. And then no matter how many counts he makes, doesn't matter. You block his IP address, and then he's done for. So I don't understand. No one wants him anywhere, but then, like, block his IP address, or, like, don't let him up. As soon as you see him in chat, block him. Like, don't even like say a word. Like, just block him. Be done. I don't understand. People doth protest too much. People might say they don't want him there, but I think they do. Because if you're letting him up and you're talking to him, I think you do. But I wish he would not go. And I honestly wish all the people who say that they don't, want him would actually show that they don't want him by just, as soon as you see him in a chat, block him immediately. Just don't even say anything. Just block him. And if he comes in again, just block him. Block his IP address. I mean, just block his IP address. That's all you have to do, really. And then it solves everything. I don't think Frank is going to go, getting another IP address or, like, going somewhere else to, be able to talk to someone or, whatever. Like, just block his IP address. It's not that hard. And you can even, block certain words like his name. And then if he tries to come up with anything with his name in the username, he'll block himself. So, yeah, well, you know, it's harder to do a live about something involving something that isn't a stable event. Like if you're going to do, like if you're a true crime person, you have to make sure there's always a true crime case going on, right? And because if there isn't, then you have nothing to talk about, So you see how I'm doing it? I'm doing this to make my forehead shorter. And then, so in the old days, you would go and you would put your blush right here to contour. You don't do it. I'm actually putting it on my cheekbone. That's my actual cheekbone because this used to be here, right? So you don't, when you're older, you don't want to go like on the here, you want to go on your cheekbone. And then I go here and here and here to make my neck look thinner and my face look thinner. Perp uses Frank and she lets him up. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, that like when in the beginning, I did roasts of people because, I needed to get seen. And, like I'm not going to get seen talking about nothing, when no one knew me, I got seen by roasting Molly and stuff like roasting Justin, roasting Bullhorn Batty, talking about, JLR, stuff like that. Ziggy, I did a lot of Ziggy, like that's how whatever. And, I didn't necessarily like it because then you get into the, like this person subs to you because you roasted Ziggy. And then next week you roast Bullhorn Betty and they're like, oh, don't like you because I like Bullhorn Betty. So now I don't like you because instead of like, I want someone who just appreciates the comedy in general. So whether I roast someone you like or you don't like, it's okay because you understand that basically what I'm doing is taking actions that I feel maybe you might need to change and just putting it out there. And like, it's not meant to hurt you. It's just to say, maybe you want to change that. It's actually like me giving you some advice. So, so like that, like, and what if that week no one does anything? Like, what if no one does anything to like roast them for? Like when you're relying on other people and other things, it's a little bit harder. So if you're relying on fighting with someone, if you're relying on for me to have good content, I have to be in a fight with someone else, or I have to have someone to bully, or I have to be able to trash talk someone. Well, what if you are not being an asshole that week? Like, what if you're just a nice person that week and you're not fighting with anyone? Then what do you talk about? And that's the only reason people are there, to rubberneck the fight. That makes it harder. So that's why now I just want to talk about topics. I'm trying to transition into like topics, talking, and maybe people are examples of those topics, but I don't want to like talk about people per se. I want to like kind of move away from that. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a true, like I wouldn't like, she's not the drama community, but I mean, if you want to be, in the drama community or just, I don't know, be trash talk, bully, whatever, I don't know, like you got to have someone you're fighting with. You have to be in conflict. You have to have a fight, because if you don't have a fight, then nobody's going to listen because they're there for the fight. No recording, no proof. But what proof is there that Frank did anything, right? Yeah, like you know what? He's going over there because he wants everyone to know that he did not do that. He did not call to make a threat. He did not call to make a threat. He would never threaten somebody's child. He would never threaten her child. And I think he's very hurt that people are saying that. And he just wants her to say, Frank did not threaten my son. That's what he wants. And like, he's not stalking. He just really wants that to be said. Like, he just needs that to be said. He's obsessively wanting to be exonerated of calling someone's, well, not calling the child, but threatening a child, but that's semantics. Like, that all got into like, oh, you called the child, whatever. Like, he said that he didn't mean, he just meant called to threaten. Whoever he talked to, he threatened a child, whatever. But I mean, he just wants his name cleared. That's all he wants. And yes, he's kind of a little obsessive about it because like it's important to him. I mean, his brain doesn't exactly work the way ours does. So he gets stuck on topics, you know, and they really bother him. Like you see how he is. Like sometimes like someone says something and he's like, "Oh, did you blah, blah, blah." And it's like, "No, that wasn't meant to go after you. Relax a little bit." You know, but that's how people who are schizophrenic are. They see things very black and white. Like he sees it right now that like people are going to think that he's, you know, threatened a child, and he like very much does not want to be that kind of person. So he really wants, you know, her to say, "No, I know you didn't, you know, threaten anybody." Like he really wants that done. And that's why he keeps going there, you know? So if you really don't want that, just say, like, admit, I have no proof. Like, what proof is there that he made that threatening call? What proof is there? Right? What proof is there that he made that? Like, yes, he's called other times, but what proof is there that he made that call? None. Like, has anyone seen any proof that he made that call? No, no. I mean, I haven't seen any, but I mean, I only watch when someone says go watch because you're getting talked about. So like people who go there more often, has anyone seen any proof that Frank was the one who made that threatening phone call? Like, has there been any? Hold on, I'm getting my other stuff because I haven't seen it. If there is, and if there is, then I will say, oh, I was wrong. But I have not seen any. So, I mean, and how is he supposed to, like, this is the other thing. People ask you to prove a negative. How do you prove a negative? How do you prove you didn't make a call? You can't do that. You can't prove you didn't do something. You can't prove a negative. How is he supposed to prove that he wasn't the one who made a call? Personally, I don't think there ever was a call. I know some of my members are purple supporters. That's fine. I mean, what I say behind someone's back, I will say to their face. So I don't believe there ever was a call, to be honest with you. Did you hear we are the little hate channel? Oh, you must not be so little then, are you? I think if you were the little hate channel, you would not be anything. I think you're a big thorn hate channel. Personally, you might be little, but you got a big mark. So good for you. He didn't make it. Yeah, I don't think there was a call, to be honest with you. I just don't. I you know, I like when the call was talked about, there were conflicting ways of how the call came in. First, it was something that was in an earbud, then it was something that, you know, like it was just talked about in ways that first it was one way, then it was another way. So I don't think there was a call. Just gonna say it. I've never seen proof there was a call. I mean, never seen proof of it. I mean, proof is very important, right? Never seen proof of it. So I don't think it exists. And if it does exist, I am 99.99% sure that it wasn't Frank as the caller. Just saying. Um, yeah, I mean, I like We has her own channel, doesn't she? I just realized Jules makes videos. She made one on Tears for Fears. Didn't realize she made videos. Like I saw her channel once, and when she clipped when I went on Purple's panel and did my Jerry Springer moment, and it was because that was hilarious. And she had like older videos, but I didn't realize now she's making new videos. So oh, she stayed with, yeah, like but yeah, I like so I'm gonna have to go find her channel. But yeah, I mean, I've just heard her say it, but I've never seen proof. So I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't. Yeah, Leah's hilarious. But drama does sell. Drama does sell. Well, I think that was because of Michael. That was when the whole thing was going on, and like all these people subbed up to get information on Michael. That was that day that there was like there was a thing that night that they were digging up the yard, and then the next morning she went on, and all these people went there to talk about Michael because Brandy was there, and then like that happened. So I mean, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. Like, good job. Get people however get people. But I mean, when your content is just like, I'm gonna just talk shit about someone, then it's going to be hard. It's hard to continue that pace. It's hard to be angry and aggressive consistently day in and day out. You know, like people like to rubberneck a car accident. It's hard to have a car accident on the highway day in and day out. Every once in a while, there's not going to be an accident at all that day. And what's going to happen that day? There's nothing for people to watch, and they're not going to want to see you or drive down the road and look down the road because there's nothing to rubberneck. You know, like you can't consistently be in a fight. Like right now, everyone's trying to make like, you know, truces or ceasefires. You know, it's funny. A ceasefire is like a momentary like lapse in what you're doing. So you're gonna like stop for a little bit of time until you do it again. That's a ceasefire. Like it's gonna happen again. We're just gonna stop for a little bit of time. A truce is we're gonna like agree and like be like, who we're done fighting. Like the fight is over. A ceasefire is the fight has we have an intermission. You know, it's like we're at the show and this we got an intermission. That's a ceasefire. Like a truce is that the show's over. So anyway, you know, but you know, everyone's making truce. So it's like, you know, there's a truce with, well, not with Tony, but Tony's not going to, I don't think Tony's going to talk about her. So, I mean, unless you have someone where you can go back and forth with, then it's hard to have that content. So Frank does get used. I mean, Frank does get used. I mean, I was in the Discord, I think it was last night, and everyone was in there. And like before, it was like before Frank, it was like the number was like really low. And then Frank came on and it like started getting higher. And then Nicolina came on and started getting higher and it got like really high. And then like she went off and started dropping. And then Frank went off, started dropping. And then, you know, suddenly it was like back down. You know, it was like we see what, you know, unless you can keep up that, you know, trash talk, blah, blah, you know, fight, you know, suck a dick thing, you know, whatever, fucking cunt, whatever, bitch whore, then, you know, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. I'm born. Are you a Capricorn, Lenny? Yeah. I mean, Frank's used to not being treated well, and I wish I had like I've emailed him, but he doesn't use email very much. Yeah, the timing of it, like once it was like I forget. I think like one time it was like something that was swiped, like because it was, you know, and then another time it was like just there were I forget what the specifics were, but I think I have it clipped somewhere, but it was just different things that it's like, oh wait, you said it was this, and now you're saying it's that. So so it's just conflicting like things that I'm like, and then like I think like the first time like when she talked about it, it was like very like blasé, and then the next time it was like, oh, the end of the world, and there's no proof. There's no proof. There's no proof. Like, why is proof only important when like it's your enemy's proof? Like, you know, if you're my enemy, then for you to say something about me, you better damn well have proof. But for me to have proof, like it doesn't matter. Like you can't have it both ways like that. You just can't. And that's part of the problem. Like people forget that. Like people forget that. Is there any proof? You know? Who's the YouTube? Who's the YouTube queen? I don't think yeah, I don't think he like can you really picture Frank like calling and saying, I'm gonna rape you and make your kids watch? Do you really think Frank would say that? I'm going to slit your son's throat. Do you really think Frank would say that? I mean, Frank says some outlandish things, but Frank is not going to say, I'm going to rape you and make your family watch. He's not going to say that. Like, that's like way different, way different. Like, he might say, I'm going to destroy you, I'm going to murder you, I'm blah, blah, but he's not going to go to that level. I can't imagine Frank saying he's going to rape someone. Can't imagine. Like that's just not a place Frank goes. Like it's not a place Frank goes. I can't picture Frank's mind going to the level of wanting to do that and saying that. I don't think his head works sexually like that. Like, you know, his brain isn't a sexual brain. So I don't think one of the things he's going to do is say, use rape for it. You know, I mean, rape isn't about sex, it's about control. But, you know, I don't think he's going to use that as a way to control. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that's what he's going to do. And I mean, Frank was close enough with her that he just wouldn't, like, he might get mad and say, I'm going to destroy you. I'll blah, blah, but he's not going to go to that level. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is there's more people on the side of thinking that she's lying, and like, she can make up whatever rules she wants, but more people than not don't believe her. I mean, like, that's the thing, and that's the thing Frank needs to realize too, which is why, like, I got to talk to him, because he needs to know that of all of these people, there's literally probably only a handful of people that believe that he did that, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I think he thinks, like, when he hears like a couple people on panel saying it, that like everybody believes it. Like, all, there's like 100 people in chat, like, everybody, but no, like, the majority of those people are hate watchers who believe him. The majority of those people are you guys, like, who believe him. So like, the people who don't think he did that is literally probably just the people on that panel and a few people in chat. Most people, like 95% of people, don't believe that Frank did it. And he needs to realize that, because I think he's so gung-ho about getting exonerated because he thinks everybody thinks he's lying, when the reality is very few people believe that he did that, right? She called me at 3:15 a.m. She called you at 3:15 a.m.? What? Wait. Wait, hold on. I didn't read the if. Hold on. I'm not reading half of it. Yeah, hold on. If Queen OG says she called me at 3:15 a.m. and I look at my call log and there's 0 calls out. Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, where is the proof? Where is the proof? Yeah, he wouldn't do that. I mean, he just wouldn't do that. Her friend Colin emailed you? What? Okay, that's like that. So when it goes to that level, then that's like a wrong level. Like that. Does members have a Discord? Yeah, there is. Like, I say this all the time. Email me at queen@thequeenog.com and I'll give you a link to the here. I'll put it in here. What am I doing? Just put it in here. Why am I saying, like, all you guys are members? Hold on. There is a Discord. All right. But I don't start shit with people. I will never be the one to, like, just out of the blue, just go ragging on someone and start shit. That's not, but like, if things happen, I might say something about it, like, because enough is enough. It's like, I've always liked Frank. I've always liked Frank. Always. I think I'm one of the few people who I have never talked shit about him. Never. Not a single thing ever. I mean, the most I've ever said about him is he needs to get a handle on his life and get better because he's freaking out there right now and cuckoo. Like, but I've never said anything bad about him. Ever. Ever. I mean, I think, like, he used to come when I was friends with Hobie. He used to come on my panel a lot, or we would both be on hers. But I used to be on panel with him a lot, and I might be the only person. Well, like, not only, but one of the few people who he has never yelled at me. He has never, like, flipped out on me on a panel ever, like, not once. He has always been kind and respectful. And if he ever starts to, like, go off on a tangent, I bring him back. Like, he's never been that way to me. He's always been nice, right? I mean, so I don't know. I think, like, I need to, like, wrangle him in or something. Yeah, I mean, it just pisses me off. It pisses me off because, there's a kind person who, I got like a hair in my eye or something. Frank is a kind person and he does have an issue, and that doesn't absolve him of what he does. But when somebody has an issue, you don't do the things that will trigger them. I feel like who he is. If you do certain things, it's going to trigger him. He wants his name cleared, and that's it. So, don't do the things that are going to, cause problems. Like, like, it's all about intent. I always say it's all about, there's like a hair in my eye and it's blonde, so I can't see it. Like, it's all about intent. It's all about intent. And the intent is to rile him up So he yells and screams. So you have drama. That's the intent. The intent is to get drama. And I think that's shitty, you know? If the intent is to just have a conversation and hang out and he flips out, then, that's a little bit different. But, we all know what the intent is. The intent is to get him to come up all pissed off and freaked out and then, get 50 more people watching you, that's what the intent is. And I don't really like that. I think that's kind of a shitty thing to do to someone, especially someone who used to be your friend. But it's kind of been that way. Like, I remember when he stood up for me about the back chat thing, and then everybody went after him. And, my phone's ringing. Where is my phone? Mad River, California. Someone's calling me from Mad River, California. Don't know where Mad River, California is. I don't even know what part of the state it's in. But see, I would love to be able to call him on the phone, just to like when he's like on a panel, and needs to like get off and chill. I would love to be able to call him and be like, whenever I see him like that, I'm like, oh, I wish I could just call him and be like, get off, like stop. Because it's just, he needs to stop doing that. And you know why he does. He hears himself being talked about, and then he wants to like get his name exonerated because he's like, I don't want these like bad things being said about him. It really hurts his feelings, which, it would, it doesn't, but it would most people, like when someone's saying untrue things about you and saying you're doing these things that are like not okay, you don't want that going around. And he doesn't, and he gets very frustrated, because he is very sensitive. If anyone's ever noticed, he's very sensitive to people like going after him. He thinks people are going after him when they're not. He's very sensitive to that, so like when he thinks someone is, saying something and they are actually saying something, when someone just says, hey, how you doing? And he's like, what? Do you hate me? Like he gets upset at that. So when someone says you threatened my child, like he's really going to get upset at that. Friends, do they have friends? Well, they have friends for the moment. They have friends who used to make them feel so. They used to cry on the phone to me about those friends who were anyway. Like, it's just, I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get any of that. But yeah, when Frank gets cuckoo with me and gets all like, thinks something's happening that's not, I'm just like, Connor, it's okay, relax, it's gonna be all right, and he chills out. Like he has never once like gone off, like and started yelling. But it started when like they were all friends, and it started when he stood up for me because everybody's talking shit about me in backchat, and he stood up for me. And I just remember they just like like I couldn't believe that that's your friend. And because he didn't even do anything wrong. He just said, I just want you to know that I wasn't okay with everyone talking shit about you, and I left. That's all he did. That's all he did, was let me know that he wasn't okay with that. And he left. That's it. And like that was like the worst thing in the world that he could have done. And he was an asshole, and they like ended the friendship with him. And just like I was like, wow. And suddenly like, how dare he, be nice to me and blah, blah. And he's thinking with his dick and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, like, this is your friend. Like, really got mad, like, and ended the friendship for it. And that happened a couple of times. Friends don't just end friendships like that, like if you're really friends, you work things out. You don't just immediately when one thing happens, hold on, I can do my other. When one thing happens, you don't end your friendship. Just boom. If you're really friends, you talk about it at least, and try and work it out. That's the other thing they say when so I put on like that was actually bronzer that I used, but I put it on like contour, and then I put bronzer that's actually bronzer like over it just to make my whole face. And then I just put on eyeliner, which you're not supposed to do in my waterline. When you're older, you apparently are not supposed to put eyeliner, especially black, in your waterline. But I do it anyway because I like it. And it's the opposite. Yeah. Like they just egg it on. Like, block him. Like if you're gonna say, I still have something about that. If you're gonna say you don't want him on and you're tired of this, block his IP address. Block his IP address. It's that easy. Block his IP address. That's all you need to do. And he will never be on your channel again, ever. He won't come and chat. Like, if you really are that sick of it, block his IP address. Boom, done. But that's never happened. You know what I'd like to ask him? If he tries to come up on my live tomorrow, I'm going to ask him, like, I would love to know, when he goes up, is he actually using new accounts? Because I wouldn't be surprised if he's not just like, if he's not getting blocked. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't. Like, I don't think that every time he goes in there, it's with a new account, because he gets blocked every time he goes in there. I have a feeling he doesn't, and he's just using the same account. Like, I don't think he's getting blocked at all, because, like I said, I mean, you got to just admit this. I'm not saying this in a bad way. Like, I think we all just realize this is fact. Like, that's what the channel is. The channel is about drama. And without that drama, the channel, like, she's not going to get the views without the drama. And unless she's talking shit about someone, she's not going to get the views. That's just the bottom line. If she sits there and talks about eyebrows, she's not going to get the views. But if she sits there and talks shit about, if Heidi holds up a picture of me and they talk shit about me, you're going to get some views. If you talk about Tabby incessantly, you're going to get views. So, of course, she's going to talk about Frank, because that's going to get views, especially if Frank comes on and starts yelling. So here is the cycle. We're going to talk about Frank. Frank's going to come on. We're going to rile him up so he yells at us and threatens us and yells and screams and is a mean asshole. And then when he goes, we're going to say how we're scared and we're threatened and we're victims and we don't want this to happen ever again, and we're so tired of it and we don't like it. And then the next day, you're going to talk about him and he's going to come up. It's just a cycle. If you want the cycle to stop, you block his IP address. If you want the cycle to stop and you don't know how to block an IP address, when you see him in the chat, you don't say a word, you just block him. When he comes into, back chat, you don't say a word. You just let him sit there. You don't say a word. I mean, I remember one time, if they cut your throat, they were not friends. I did a full year with someone and she flipped. I never said shit. Oh, who would that be, buddy? I never badmouthed her. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about Purple, to be quite honest. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about her. I don't think I've ever really heard you talk about a lot of people. You're not really like a shit talker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the whole, like, oh, you disappoint me. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I'm not saying this in a bad way or to trash talk. These are facts. These are facts. And if you don't realize they're facts, then you're lying to yourself. But Frank gets used to get clicks and views. He does. Anybody who disagrees with that is lying to themselves. Because if you really honestly aren't using him for clicks and views, you don't let him on your channel. And if you don't want him on your channel, you block his IP address. If you don't know how to do that, then every time he comes in, you block him. You don't say anything. Like one time, I was going to say, I started that and then I started reading. That it was like my second, maybe third live, and I kept having, it was like Michelle Sabate tried to come up, that first one, and then I don't know what happened, but like I got like all these, like someone tried to porn bomb me, and then people kept coming into back chat, and they kept coming and coming, and for the whole time, I had at least 2 or 3 people in my back chat, and they would come in with like disgusting names, and they would never show their face. They would like come in and flip me off, or like come in and show their asshole, and they would just be back there, and they would just be back there and sit back there and whatever, show a nut, whatever, come in with a rude name, and then they'd sit there, and then eventually they'd leave, and someone else would come up, and I just let them sit there. I would say to like everyone, like, oh my gosh, now we got like buttfuckerunski back there, whatever. I would joke about it, but never like let them up, like that's what you do. If you really don't want people like that there, you don't let them up. It's not that hard. So, and if you are letting them up, then you actually want it. So, and I really wish he would have the sense to not go up. Another thing you're probably not supposed to do when you're older is the whole like shiny thing. You're supposed to be more matte. But I got this at BoxyCharm and I really like it right now. So I'm doing it. I don't care. I don't care if I'm not supposed to. See, that's the thing about makeup. You do what you want. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, like Frank takes this stuff really, really seriously, and he gets upset, and I just wish he wouldn't. I wish we could like make him not go up there. Last night she gave Chris's. Oh God, yeah, yeah. I went on there and listened to that. So okay, so I don't really know the story. So is that what happened? So Nicolina said that Chris asked her to go after Purple, and is that what happened? I mean, I didn't know, were Nicolina and Chris even that good of friends? I didn't even know they were friends. But is that the story that's being said? I can't see Chris doing that, but I mean, she's not like that kind of like vindictive, like, oh, you go after somebody. Like, I don't think she wants beef with, like, I think Chris is like, a little like, she doesn't want this. She just like, she's not like a fight. Like the sense that I get is she's not a fighter like that. She's not like a fighter like that. She's not gonna, so she just is like, she doesn't want this. Like, that's the sense I get. So, but is that what, so is Purple saying Kristen, like, what's the whole story? I told Frank and he said, I'll do what I want. Yeah, see but he'll do what he wants because he has it in his head that someone is saying that he's done these things that he hasn't, and he wants to exonerate himself. And he needs to realize that no, like, this isn't what people think. Like, I hate to tell him, but the world of YouTube does not think he threatened a child. Like, if that's what he's upset about, which it is, the majority of YouTube does not believe that he threatened anybody. So he does not need to get anyone to say that he didn't for people to believe it. I think that's his problem. And yes, that was like, so did Nicolina tell Purple that Chris did that? Like, I'm confused as to how this all got started. Because I remember that one time, so when Nicolina wanted to go onto Purple's and Purple didn't let her up and was really snotty and rude to her, like, this is my channel. Like, really was like, you don't need to be that rude to somebody. Like, you don't, like, I don't know. Like, I guess if you want drama, you talk like that to people, but I would never talk like that to someone. I don't know. It's kind of rude. Kind of like, like adults. Like, that's the other thing. Aren't we adults? Aren't we adults? That's the other thing. Aren't we adults? That's what people forget. Adults are not supposed to act like this. I hate to tell you. Like, adults are not supposed to toy with people like that. Adults are not supposed to make shit up like that. Like, this is not how adults are supposed to act. Chris was upset at what Purple was doing back then and was spouting. I can see that. Oh, so Chris was spouting and Nicolina thought that Chris was asking her to do something, or did Purple think, like, well, what was the transition there? I'm still a little like, yeah, okay. So Nicolina said that Chris asked her to go after Purple. And then I know there was something about an email being shown. Did Nicolina show this email to prove that Chris did it or something? And like, when somebody shows an email, like, I don't necessarily believe that that's really, like, that's the thing with receipts. People say they want receipts. Well, like, are they even real? Like, anybody can make up anything. There is software that you can make a chat. You can edit the text in a chat. So even if you show a chat, it can be, you can change it. Everything can be modified. I mean, screenshot, like, everything can be modified. So just because you have a screenshot doesn't mean it's real. Doesn't mean you didn't not make it up. So, I mean, you can't even believe screenshots. Purple thinks that Nicolina is going to make her channel popular. Well, Nicolina is not, like, I used to kind of be friends with her, and I haven't really, like, I mean, talked to, like, any more than, like, I know who she is, like, for, like, at least 6 months. But hold on, I gotta turn my hair upside down. But I was kind of like friends with her like 6 months ago. Like, I haven't really like looked at what she's done, but she's kind of like not like, she's kind of like popular in a, like, people hate her way now. Like, she was popular in more of a like she was kind of like a tough little bitch and she spoke her mind and people respected that. But like now she's like kind of like hated trash, it seems. I don't know. So, I mean, that's the thing. I don't I think the concept of having someone make you popular, you got to make yourself popular. Um, oh really? Yeah. Well, didn't she steal that money that she was getting for that chick who had cancer or something? She raised all this money for some lady and then stole it or something. I remember hearing something about that. But her and BK, see, when I kind of like stopped just like knowing what she did on a more regular basis, she was still friends with BK and Rap. That's like how long ago it's been since I paid any attention to what she does or says or anything like that. So, like when I looked, I was like, oh gosh, she's now like, you know, a hated, vile bitch. Which, I don't know. I don't think you want those kind of people to make you popular, to be honest with you. I mean, oh, I know what you mean, Italian girl. I don't know. I think you got to make yourself popular. I think you got to find your own niche and get your own little, like, people that you get along with and can kind of have rapport with, and then you just go from there. I think if you're trying to like have someone get you popular, or like, oh, I'm going to use this person to then hang out with their people, or, you know, and I think that's the other thing. Like, if you're going to get views based on someone else, like based on, because I have to talk about Frank, like, you just get it for what you do. Oh, it's big. Record is shocking. Wait, oh, they're saying she is a thief and a hacker? I don't know if she's smart enough to be a hacker. But I heard she got fired. She was a nurse and she got fired, like maybe doing something not right there, and that she was raising all this money for some lady who had like liver cancer or something, and then she ended up keeping it. I don't know. I don't know if any of that is true, but I think that's kind of like the things that I heard. I mean, and this was, a while ago. I don't know if any of that's true, but there was some drama with some lady who was sick, and the lady showed her all her records and everything. And then at the end of it, she said the lady was lying and she kept all the money or something like that. Is that true? And then she lost her job. I don't know. I kind of half paid attention, but I think I heard something like that. I don't really know much about it. But I don't know if you want to get down and dirty with people like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not exactly the people you want to be hanging around. I don't know about that. Oh, well, I'm not gonna say that. I don't know. I think if I could do anything, I would make Frank stay away and not say anything. You know what I would really do if I could do anything? I would make people keep their word on YouTube. I would make people say what they mean and mean what they say. So if you say, I don't want this person in my chat, you would actually, if you say everybody needs receipts, then you would show receipts for your own stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to say something, follow through with it. I think if people did that, things would be a much better place. She was stealing from an LLC. Oh wow. Oh, I heard that too actually. She embezzled. Yeah, I think I've heard she's done a lot of shitty shit. She's a shady little bitch then. It's a shady little bitch. I just, you know what I didn't like, because I listened to it last night. What I didn't like was she came in like in the middle of a conversation, and it was almost like she thought she was going to come in as like, "Ah, I'm the badass" kind of thing, like, oh, look at me, like, haha, I'm so badass. And she was all like, it's like when your friend next to you is fighting and then you come in and you're like, oh yeah, you little bitch, motherfucker, and you're like trying to act all cool and tough. And really you're just like looking like a fool. Like she kept saying, like, oh, your wife, Chris, your wife, she thought they were married. And it just was kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. But Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that one, but I don't know. I've heard she's a shady. Actually, what was I watching? There was one person I was watching that, oh, but I was watching a couple of videos, and they were videos of people making fun of her, like to her face, and it was hilarious. There was, oh, it was the Miss Fucking Wonderful making fun of her to her face. Like they were on like a podcast or a panel together or something together. And Nicolina was trying to act cool and badass, and Miss Fucking Wonderful just shot her right down. But I don't know. I mean, Nicolina would eat purple for breakfast though. Nicolina, like she's like you don't want to mess with her. Like she really will. Like she won't just sit there and say the words and be like, ugh. Like she'll actually like, oh, what are these? Okay. Wrap exposure. Hold on. Why does it not like me doing that? It doesn't let me leave that. Oh God, that's long. Hold on. Okay, stop. 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 All right, I'm gonna put it somewhere else. Hold on. Two. Oh my God. I just got this wave of tiredness. Did not sleep good last night, and I just got this. Oh. Oh, stop. There you go. Oh, it's I just see it's titled Chase Bank Account. So I'm gonna assume that has something to do with her stealing money or something like that. Now I lost my chat in here. Oh, there it is. How did this get here? Wait, you go here. What are you doing? Why are you there? Go away. How do I get back here? Yeah, I think some shady shit went down. But I just thought it was funny that she went up and like everyone in chat was just like didn't want her there because she like they were having a conversation. All there and then at the end she's like, well, I'll just leave because nobody in chat wants me here. And then I saw like all these people in chat being like, well, you just interrupted a conversation. Like they were having a conversation. Her lawsuit. Oh, is it a lawsuit she's going after someone else, or is it a lawsuit against her for embezzlement? I from what you said, I have a feeling it's going against her, but I think that's hilarious. I don't know, but I should try and find it. There, it was her and Miss Fucking Wonderful, and Miss Fucking Wonderful like went. Oh, it's funny. You know, I always respect women who just if they think something, they just put it out there. I gotta respect that. Like if you have like thoughts that are not popular thoughts and you have enough balls to just go out there and say it, I respect that. You know, so I've always kind of like respected her as like she's like she just will do what she says and do what she thinks is right. But like now that I'm looking back, because then I kind of like wasn't really whatever. So now that I'm here looking back at the last 6 months, I'm like, oh wait, she kind of changed from what I thought she was 6 months ago. She's kind of like a little trashy now. Like, what's going on with that? I mean, I don't know. Like, just I like you do what you want, but if the greatest thing you can do is just like talk like some gutter wench and just try and be all like curse words and da 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 to be cool and tough, like you just see through that and just think you're kind of like it's like you're an adult, get some class. Like when you're 12, yeah, when you're 12 you can go on the playground and be like, ah, you bitch, fuck you, you motherfucking cunt, blah blah blah, fuck you, I'll punch you in your mouth. You can act like that, you can act like that, you can act like that when you're 12. But when you're over the age of 18, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, like stop. You're an adult. You're a mother. You're a grandmother. Words like that are not supposed to come out of your mouth. You're you know, stop. You're too old to be acting like that. Like, ugh. It's just ugh. Ugh. If when I was younger, my mom talked and acted like that with anybody, I would be like, mom, you got problems. Like you're in like I'm in high school, you're not. Knock it off. Um, see, that's the other thing. When you do stuff to kids, that's just like, and like why like this whole doxing thing. It's like I don't even know what the point of it is. Like, okay, people know my address. What? So what? Like, what is gonna happen? Is someone gonna come here and like try and beat me up? Like, no. Like, try and come on my property. You come on my property, you're probably not gonna leave it. You're probably gonna leave it at a chipper. Probably gonna get buried. probably gonna be in the middle of nowhere. I mean, like, so what? Like, what power does it, like, what power has anyone gotten from this? Like, they know my good job, come here. They're not gonna come here. Like, so what? Like, it's really like, it's done nothing. Like, I mean, I don't know. So I kind of don't get the whole, like, oh, you got docs. Well, so what? What do you get? Like, what power do you have over me now? Like, I'll buy you a ticket. You can come here and we'll talk. Come here. Come on my property and let's talk. Come on. Come on. You got my address. Come see me. It's not gonna happen. I mean, yeah, like, if my kids saw me like just talking trashy like that, or like threatening some, like trying to, like any of that. Like, there's some of these lies that I hear from, like, lots of people, not just one person, but there are several creators who, like, I'm sorry. There are several creators who, like, sometimes you listen to them and they're literally like just ranting and cursing and threatening and trying to be tough and trying to like be cool and like literally trying to act like you probably wanted to when you were about 15 or 16. But when you're like an adult and a mom and a grandma and you're trash talking like that, it's so pathetic. It's like, ah, it's bleh, bleh. It's pathetic. It's like you should have gotten that out of your system in high school. Like, that was the time that was the time that made you cool. That made you cool then. It does not make you cool now. It, like, you don't stand on a pedestal because I'm so tough. No, you're an idiot. Like, this is dumb. The Doug dude from New, yeah, that guy. I remember I started watching Doug like when he had 100 subs. I was one of his first subs. I mean, I remember when he went on to the Laundry's property and like they had a camper and he was like filming into the camera and into the camper and he'd go around. He was like special media. I mean, he was hilarious. And I remember the other guy because he had his own channel and he like wanted to be Doug. You could tell. But I remember watching him a little bit to see what he would do. And you could tell he really was jealous of Doug. He really wanted to be Doug. I mean, and this was like long before Brian was dead. They found him dead. And when that came out, it's like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, what? That makes no sense. What's going on with that? Is he getting sentenced? Like, I mean, I know Doug is okay because I'm sub to him, so I see his stuff. But is that guy, that was there a trial yet? I have no idea where that's at. I mean, I hope he, like, Doug technically died. I mean, he died. He was dead for like a minute, I think. So he technically killed somebody. Like, they brought him back, but he killed somebody. He killed somebody because Doug has a bad heart. He talk about it all the time. Like, he has a bad heart. He can't do that shit. I mean, he technically killed somebody. Like, another second here, second there. He's dead for dead. But he's lucky. He's lucky that. But I mean, just what is in your head to get that mad? Like, and that's like another thing when I see some people like taking it so seriously as if it's like, it's like, come on. And that's what I said before. Like, is Frank going to really go to your house? No. I mean, like, this guy went to Doug's house, but then again, he did live like, I mean, like, I guess don't mess with people who live next to you. But I mean, that guy lived a few miles from Doug and he went cuckoo and and that's sad. And while there are some people who do that, I'm pretty sure Frank isn't going to fly to Idaho and, is it Idaho or Iowa? Wherever, one of those, he's not going to fly anywhere and like go rent a car or take a cab. And, like, he's not going to do that. Like, maybe if you live down the street from him, I'd be like, yeah, like, that's not cool for him to talk like that. But I don't know. But it's 9:30 here and I need to start my day. My husband's going to be out with a kitty. Maybe I'll do like a quick live or just show some screenshots with the kitty here. I'm so excited. Like, he's probably going to hate me and he's probably going to try and fight me. He's probably going to try and claw. Like, I have no idea what he's going to be like. I don't know if he's going to be like mean and hateful. I don't know if he's like, I have no idea what he's going to be like, but I'm so excited. I just seeing how like mad he is. I can't wait till I see in his eyes, like, love. Like, I just want to see in his eyes, like, just love and happiness. Like, his ears are down. He's so mad. He's like literally drooling. He's so mad. I just want to see him like, like, Eventually he'll be that way. Someday. Well, I don't know. He might be nice. I don't know. He might be nice. He doesn't look nice, but he might be nice. But, you know, but Siamese cats, he's part Siamese. I'm sure he's not full bred, but he's part Siamese, very much part Siamese. Like Siamese cats are cray-cray. They're like hyper, mad, cray-cray, need attention. So I don't know. I just want, we need to get another one. I don't want to be alone. Like, I know cats don't care, but like, I don't want to be alone. Oh, he's already fixed. He's fixed. He got the first thing chopped. Like, as soon as they bring him into the shelter, they cut his nuts off. So, but he had them for 2.5 years. So you can tell he's got, when they keep their nuts for that long, they get big, big jowls that never go away. And they can be not very nice. So, you know, like I had one cat who I trapped, and he was about the same age, and he had not, you know, had started, and you could see him, like his face is brown, so you can't really see it, but like this cat, you could see him, and he was a hateful little fucker. Well, he was better once he did get fixed, but he was still, because he never had been around, like ever had been around people, like never, ever, not for a second. So I don't know how this, my poo-poo Rasputin, he's going to be 24 in April. So like 2 months, 9 weeks, in 9 or 10 weeks, he's going to be 24. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, you guys. I hope you learned something about eyebrows. So don't use your nose. If you use your nose, it might be all screwed up based on if you have a big nose or a little nose or a broken nose or whatever. But it was good fun. And tomorrow I have a premiere at 11. It's roasting jealous women. So it should be fun. And then my live will be, and it's only like 2 minutes. So like the waiting time for the premiere will be longer than the actual video. But it's like 2-3 minutes, something like that. So that'll be at 11, and then go whatever. And then my live will be at noon, and you know, just be like a live. So yeah, 24 years. Yeah, come to the Discord. So once you get in there, like say hi, because then I have to, so there's an open room. I mean, it's private, you have to be invited, but then there's like special rooms for like members and stuff. So like the main room, you'll just be in the main room. There's lots of people, but there's a special like members one. So awesome. So love you guys. Thank you for coming. I hope you learned something. And I can't wait. Okay. Bye. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to pee myself. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Thanks, you guys. Oh, something just came in my window there. Okay.